Okay, a massive welcome to everyone tuning in online for what's set to be one hell of a Speedway Sidecar meeting. The 2022 New South Wales Sidecar Championships right here at KURRI Speedway. We've had some pretty ordinary weather over the last week or so here in Newcastle, but the track has held up beautifully. The track staff have done a fantastic job to bring the track up to standard. There's a lot of water laying around on the infield where I am, but it's the track itself is looking absolutely superb, and it's going to be some really good sidecar racing tonight. We've got a fantastic field of riders with us, all battling it out to try and get this New South Wales title. Darren Treloar has got to be the red hot favourite, a guy that's won it 22 times. He'll be going for his 23rd New South Wales title here tonight, and he's the man to beat. As the riders start their practice. This is the practice for riders before we get underway with our qualifying tonight. Now qualifying, we'll see 5 riders in the qualifying, and those riders will be looking to try and fill 2 spots in the program proper for the New South Wales title. And it's going to be a time situation. The riders will come out, they'll do 1 lap, and the top 2 quickest riders then will go through the program in the qualifying 1 and 2. So that's after the practice. I mentioned riders out on the track at the moment for practice, and once that practice has been completed, then we will get underway with the program proper. We also have a support program tonight, so those riders that don't make it through qualifying will then be on the support card, and they will race in between the rounds. So the format is the 5 rounds of racing, 4 heats per round, and then at the end of those 5 rounds, the top 3 point scorers will go straight through to the final to have a crack at the New South Wales Championship, and then the remaining 4 riders from positions 4 to 7 on points will then battle it out in a B semi-final, and then the top rider, the winner of the B semi-final, will then go into the big one to make up the 4th rider for the A final. So great, not a bad crowd in tonight. A few people less probably than what we would have expected with the weather conditions the way they are. Very threatening. There's a few dark clouds overhead. Other than that, there's not any rain really in sight. Cool conditions, so good conditions for riders, and yeah, good crowd that has come out to try to witness what is set to be a fantastic night's racing here at KURRI Speedway. So practice is underway, and then once we've had that practice, we will get into the qualifying with the 5 riders battling it out for 2 spots to try and get through to the main program. I will go through the field of riders very shortly of the lineup for this New South Wales Sidecar Championship. You've got rider number 1 Jackson Bond and Jacob Richards, I beg your pardon. Rider 2 Jack Summerling and Marty Wild. Now rider 3 will be the first qualifier from our qualifying race, time qualifiers. Rider number 4 Darren Treloar and Blake Cox, the favourites here tonight. Rider 5 Grant Bond and Glenn Cox. Rider 6 is Max Howes and Riley Commons. Rider 7 Shane Hudson, Adam Constable. Rider 8 is Steve Saunders and Dwayne Dennis. Rider 9 Richard Stevens and Nick O'Brien. Rider 10 is Kyle Roller and Tyrese Connors. Rider 11 Timmy Lawrence and Donnie Morris. Rider 12 is Paul Hemsworth and Adam Botham. Rider 13 Mick Farrell Senior and Brett Towns. Rider 14 will be the second qualifier from our time qualifying. Rider 15 is Jake Treloar and Eli Wright, and then rounding out the 16 riders will be Hayden Bond and Liam Cox in number 16. So that's the field, good field. We've had a couple of guys, Grant Bond and Glenn Cox, the veteran riders, really pushed Treloar hard in the Australia Day meeting we had here, and really did give them a bit of a hurry up in that final. So they're going to be the guys that are going to be up there. Also Jack Summerling and Marty Wild as well, and the guys are out there at the moment on the track, Summerling and Wild in the orange outfit. Yeah, really nice and prepared bike car. And they go really quick around here. Try and get up there and get it straight through to the final. That's what riders will be aiming to try and get in that top 3 to have a direct path to the final. And which is a sudden death situation, but that'll be the top rider going through to that final. So good races. Also guys that did well last time here was Paul Hemsworth and Adam Longman. Keep an eye on Maxie Howes and Riley Commons on bike number 6, and also Richard Stevens and Nick O'Brien. Those guys are going to be a couple too that'll probably be up there and thereabouts once this meeting gets underway, looking to try and get that direct path through to the A final. As I mentioned, just practice at the moment on the track, and then after that practice we'll be getting stuck straight into the time qualifying to see which 2 riders will go through into the program proper. So if you're just tuning in to our live coverage online, this is the practice session for riders for the 2022 New South Wales Sidecar Championship here at KURRI Speedway. Great to have you with us wherever you're tuning in. We do appreciate the support, and you'll be seeing some fantastic sidecar racing tonight. Some of the best you'll see anywhere in Australia with the class of riders they have to line up. The prospect is mouth-watering in some of these heats tonight. It'll be fantastic to see with the qualifying of 5 riders battling out a time qualify, and then only the top 2 fastest riders in the qualifying will then go through to the program proper, with the other 3 riders going through to a support program. So massive night of sidecar racing here at KURRI Speedway, and we hope you're sitting back in your lounge room or in the shed or wherever you are, and you've cracked open a cold one, or you've got your coffee and your cup of tea and biscuits, and ready to see some fantastic racing here tonight. So just a little bit of track preparation before we get underway. Okay, so still practice out on the track. Still 4 riders to do their practice laps. And the Bondies out there, I think that's Jackson and Grant Bond, Glenn Cox. Geez, haven't the boys been winding back the clock the last time they were here? They really did give it to Darren Trelaw in the final here on Australia Day, and it'll be interesting to see how the guys go here tonight, because the bike seems really quick. And Grant Bond, I remember seeing as a youngster fly around the track, and he's still doing it, and geez, just seems to be getting better with age. He's certainly getting a little bit quicker, that's for sure. So I think we've still got a couple more practice riders to come out for practice, and then we'll be underway with our time qualifying for tonight. So the 2 fastest riders from the 5 riders in the time qualifying will then go through to the program proper, have a crack at this New South Wales sidecar title for 2022. Great to have you with us right here at KURRI Speedway. Weather conditions are ideal at the moment. There's not a lot of heavy cloud, very light cloud around, so it's not real threatening rain-wise. So the track is holding up beautifully. Just had to put a little bit of sprinkle of water into it, so believe it or not, with the amount of rain that's been around, the track staff have been right on top of it the last few days or so. So it's going to be some great racing here once we get into these heats of racing, the 5 rounds of 4 heats, so 20 heats all up, and then the top point scorers in the heats will then, the top 3 point scorers go straight through to the final, and then the remaining 4 from position 4 to 7 will go then to the B semi-final, and the winner of that B semi-final will then go into the A final for a crack at the title. Okay, that's our practice done and dusted. Riders looking pretty quick out there on the track, so once these heats get underway, it's going to be a real battle royale for this title here tonight. As I mentioned, Darren Trelaw's got to be the red hot favourite. He'll be out in the first heat with Blake Coxie on the side, Hollywood Cox, and they'll be out against the first qualifier, Jack Summerling and Marty Wild, and Jackson Bond and Jacob Richards. So that's a good first up heat to kick off racing. And riders at the moment are just sorting themselves out in the pit area, and then they'll be out for the start of our first of our time qualifying. So if you didn't catch it before, 5 riders, they'll come out 1 rider at a time. They will start at the tapes, they will go around, and then once they come back across the line, that's when their time will start. They'll get 1 flying lap or 1 chance to post a quick time, and then the top 2 riders will be the 2 that go through to make up qualifying 1 and qualifying 2 riders in the program crop popper, which will be rider number 3 on the program, will be qualifier 1, and rider number 14 will be qualifier 2. So that's the setup. The riders, a little bit of nerves I would think, are starting to build on some of these guys. A lot of the guys are seasoned professionals. There's a few younger guys in here as well. They'll all be looking to try and get a podium finish in this New South Wales title here tonight. And as I mentioned earlier, not a bad crowd filtering in considering the weather conditions. And the first of the riders coming out will be Michael Hoogland and Robert Scott, and they will come out and do their flying 1 lap against the clock. So we'll let you know the times, and then which 2 riders then will go through to the program proper. As I mentioned, qualifier 1 will be rider 3 and qualifier 2 will be rider 14. So they're the 2 that will go through, and then the other 3 riders will then battle it out for the Billy Hobbs Cup. Now, Billy Hobbs is a guy that's with us all the time here. He's at every Speedway sidecar meeting. He's one of those true supporters, die-hard supporter, and he's been honoured tonight with the Billy Hobbs Cup as the support program here. And it's guys like that that really do make the Speedway racing. They're here every single time, and a massive thank you to those people that are dedicated, that get out here and they do support, and they love watching the sidecars. But here's Mick Hoogland and Robert Scott. They're the first 2 up on the line. They'll come up to the starting tapes, and they'll set themselves. Once the tapes go up, they will start. That won't be the start of their time, that will be their flying lap. It'll be a flying start, so a rolling start. They'll come around, and then once they come around that first time and hit the stripe, the timer will start, and then we will see what times are registered for these guys. So Mick Hoogland and Robert Scott, a couple of local fellas, and they're in the purple machine, the white machine, number 9 on the front. These guys, they're probably going to be maybe one of the top 2, but it's all going to go down. Stuff it up, then that's just stiff bickies. And when they come around across the stripe, that's when the time will start. And Michael Hoogland is the rider, Robert Scott the passenger, and they'll come out of the turn now down to the stripe, and the time will start from now. Across they go into turn 1, 2, not a bad line, keeping it nice and tight and low. Now they open the throttle down the back straight away, that little straight stretch. Now they set themselves up for the turn into the corner, not a bad looking line, got a little bit low on the turn, across the stripe they come, and they complete their first time. Let's have a look and see what it is. It'll be a pretty good time, I would imagine. But they've had their 1 shot, so they'll head back into the pit area now, and then they'll So 16.94 was the time. 16.94 was the the time for Michael Hoogland and Robert Scott. They were the first ones out on the track. And now coming out are the boys from the MSRT racing team, Jared Marco and Wade Robinson. The boys on 666. Marco will be looking to try and get through as one of the top 2 fastest riders in this qualifying. This is the time qualifying, 5 riders. There was meant to be 6 and we were going to have the 2 heats, but unfortunately it dropped down to 5. So the fairest way was to have the time trials, and the boys now will come around to start their... They don't. So the boys coming around, Jared Marco and Wade Robinson, and they'll be looking to start their... they'll have looking to make the start. Now they're called for no tapes. They don't want the tapes, but I think the Chief Stewards decided that that's the way they'll be starting, with the tape. So 16.94 is Michael Hoogland, Robert Scott. Now Jared Marco, Wade Robinson, the boys from MSRT. They'll set off now around to make their way. Can the boys get into this field of 14 riders to make it 16? Round they go. The bike's sounding pretty good too. Sounds like it's got a bit of power. Oh no, he looked like he overcooked it. Now the turn, down he comes. Now his time will start from now. Now he gets on the gas, opens up the throttle, slides his way into the turn. That's not too bad. He got a little bit sideways. Oh, untidy. Untidy might have cost him a bit of time. Into the bottom turn he goes. Gets a little bit mid-track. Got the tail flying out. Comes towards the stripe and hits it. Oh, we'll have to see. That wasn't too bad. Let's see how it stacks up. 16.94. 16.94 is the time at the moment. Now we're just waiting for the time to come through, and we'll see what that time was. 16.40, so they've gone quicker. They've gone quicker. The MSRT racing team now have gone to the top of the tree, and it's Jared Marco and Wade Robinson on a 16.40, Michael Hoogland, Robert Scott.
So Rex is about to take the bike back over to the pit area and find out what that little problem is with the bike. So we're looking at Jeff Godfrey and Ben Petrie will be next out. Rex just had to run around in the pit area like crazy, doing drug tests and all that sort of thing, as we have to do as Speedway riders. So next one out will be the Queenslander, Jeff Godfrey and Ben Petrie. So we'll see Zach Campbell and Jason Williams will come out in 5th position for the qualifier. Hopefully they'll have a bit of time to fix up their bike. Just waiting now on Jeff Godfrey and Ben Petrie. We've got problems with Jeff Godfrey's bike down there in turn 4 as well, so Josh Marco, new colours from Josh Marco, normally in the orange coloured bike. So Josh and Jason McAllister find their way out on track. Meanwhile, Jeff Godfrey will try and get his bike started on the infield and see what the problem is there. So next up, Josh Marco and Jason McAllister. Remembering 3 go through to the main event tonight. For Michael Hoover, big push there for Marco. Josh Marco with a time of 17.03. 17.03, so puts Josh in 3rd position at the moment. Still trying to get Jeff Godfrey and Zach Campbell fired up, ready to roll. So just the 3 qualifiers at the moment, Joel. We've got Michael Hoover, Jared Marco and Josh Marco. Shame for Zach Campbell and Jeff Godfrey at the moment.
Yeah, Darren, a couple of gremlins in the system here for a couple of the boys, and let's just hope they can get it sorted out. It'd be horrible to not to even get a crack at the one lap. It's not looking. For the guys though, it doesn't even really sound like it wants to kick off. They've been trying to push it starting for the last couple of minutes or so, and then Zach Campbell and Jason Williams, well, the bike sounded like it exploded about 13 times over in the pit area, so I don't know whether they're going to be able to make the track. So at the moment, as it stands, Jared Marco and Wade Robertson and Michael Hoogland and Robert Scott would be the 2 combinations going through as qualifier 1 and 2, but we'll just have to wait and see. A little bit of time for these guys to see if they can get the gremlin sorted out. If not, unfortunately, we're just going to have to take those times that have already gone around, and as Kafie's pointed out, We had Jared Marco, Wade Robertson on a 16.40, Michael Hoogland and Robert Scott on a 16.94, and Josh Marco and Jason McAllister on a 17.03. So let's hope they can get that sorted out, and they can get out and at least have a shot at that one lap. But while we have got this little bit of time, massive thank you to Newcastle Access for their help and support here tonight. On behalf of the Kurri Club, we thank them very much, as well as the Griffin group of companies, who also are a massive supporter of us here at Kurri Speedway, and MSRT Racing Team as well. So big thank you to the guys, and as I mentioned, riders are trying desperately to get the bikes fired up so they can get out and at least have a crack at getting in. Now we can hear a little bit of a noise coming from the pit area. That sounds like it's Zach Campbell and Jason Williams. It's certainly not firing, Dave. It must have a Ford part in it. You just stick a line on the front of it and it'll be fine.
Really had to make that joke.
Yes, great to see the band back together. Big welcome back to Peter Rumble, who is with Dave tonight, and the guys, in all seriousness, do a fantastic job, and we thank them very much for their support here tonight. Two guys that were notorious back in the day for their ability and skill at the Targa. But no, we thank them tonight. They're the medical guys that are with us. Fingers crossed that we don't have to go to them too many times tonight, but great to know that they're there if we need them. So still waiting, still a bit of noise. That sounds a little bit better. Maybe they did get a Holden sticker on it. And let's hope they can at least get out and have a crack. But we're not too far away from kicking off the program proper. Geez, this is an exciting prospect, Kafey, tonight, this title meeting. There's some really good riders here, and mate, I'm just itching to get these heats underway, and the boys are going to be really determined and to try and get their hands on this New South Wales title here tonight. Okay, so Jeffrey Godfrey and Ben Petrie have, I think from Queensland, the boys, they're managed to get it fired up, and they're going to come around and have their tilt at the time trial, the qualifying. And let's hope that the guys can get around okay. It seems like the bike started all right. I think I only had $2 worth of petrol in it, so the prices have gone so dear now that let's hope. I don't know if it sounds like it's running perfectly, but it's running enough. And they're up to the line. They'll get the tapes up. They'll go around. Once they come around the first time, they'll start their flying one lap. So tapes go up and they head around, and they'll come around out at turn 3-4, and once they hit the start finish line, that's when their time will start. So this is Jeffrey Godfrey, Ben Petrie, out of the turn they come. They look pretty quick. That is sounding good now. They come across the stripe into turn 1-2. Oh gee, drifted wide there. Had a bit of understeer as they went into the corner. And then they're going into this bottom turn 3-4. Oh no, they're gone. The back end's washed out on him. He's tried to correct it, but it's all over the shop. Oh, bad luck for the boys. I don't think that's going to be a very quick time. It's going to be a 17-seconder. But that's Jeffrey Godfrey and Ben Petrie. At least they've been able to set a time for the time qualifying here at Kurri Speedway for the 2022 New South Wales Sidecar Championship. Great to have you with us online, tuning in. 17:15 was the time. 17:15. Now, oh gee whiz, you can hear Zach Campbell and Jason Williams in the pit area. I think they could probably hear them in the township of Kurri, a few k's away. It's really struggling, that bike. The spluttering and backfiring, and they just can't get it through. So let's fingers crossed, but it's not looking good at all for those riders. And I think it's just about going to be out of time, and they're not going to get their shot at the flying one lap, so they will not be able to. Let's just hope they can get the thing going for the support program. So so they're the two riders that will go through from the time qualifying. Jared Marco, Wade Robertson, and Michael Hoogland, Robert Scott, to make up a very impressive field of sidecar riders here tonight with us to battle it out for this 2022 New South Wales sidecar title. Great to have you with us. Thanks for coming out. We do appreciate it with the way the weather's been, and it's been pretty sketchy conditions over the last week or so. So let's sit back and enjoy some race action. That's still the boys trying to fire up Zach Campbell and Jason Williams, but that bike just not sounding healthy at all. Okay, so we're not too far away now from the start, just a little bit of track prep before we get underway with the first heat of the night, round one, the 2022 New South Wales Sidecar Championship. Hope you're tuning in online, you're all set up, ready to go, because we're set to see some really good racing action here tonight at KURRI Speedway. The track's looking in pretty good nick. It's had a fair bit of rain over the last couple of days or so, but the track's holding up very nicely at the moment. There's not any real wet patches on it. It's very firm on the inside line, just giving it a little scrape up now. And with that rain that's been, it hasn't seemed to have affected. We had to put a little bit of water into the track earlier, and we'll have to do that no doubt as the night continues on. But the track is looking really good, really fast. And riders are going to be really on the money tonight. They're going to have to beat Darren Treloar, who's going to be the favourite here. He's going for his 23rd New South Wales title. That's right, 23 New South Wales title. He's achieved so much in the sport of speedway sidecar racing, and he's looking to add another one of those titles to his collection tonight. But there's a big field of riders that are looking to try and push him all the way, and then maybe even try and upset the apple cart and grab a victory and take home that New South Wales title, or at least get up on the podium if they can't knock Treloar over, Darren Treloar. And Blake Hollywood Cox, who has come out of retirement more times than Johnny Farnham, and those two, that combination really have been a force to be reckoned with over a long period of time. So not too far away, and we'll see the first of our heats. 20 heats, 5 rounds. The top 3 point scorers go straight through, and then the point scorers from 4th to 7th will battle it out for the B semi-final, and then the winner of the B semi-final will then go to join those top 3 points to make the 4 riders for the final, and that will decide who will be the New South Wales champion for 2022. So out they come. This is heat number 1. The New South Wales Sidecar Championship for 2022. Great to have you with us. Riders moving out now. Jackson Bond and Richards in the red. Summerling and Wild, they'll be in the blue helmet colour in that beautiful outfit, the orange and blue. And you've got Jared Marco and Wade Robertson, who have come through the qualifying. They were qualifier 1, and they'll be in the white helmet colour. And then rounding out the field, there they are, Darren Treloar, Blake Cox in the yellow. They'll come out of gate 4 up near the boards first up. And let's see what happens in this opening heat. It should be a beauty to kick us off. Riders making their way around to the start area. Keep an eye on Summerling and Wild in this one. They've been riding pretty quick around here at KURRI, the previous meetings. Jackson Bond as well, and Richards in the red. And Jared Marco and Wade Robertson. Well done to the MSRT boys to get through that qualifying, and they'll be starting in the white out of gate number 3. Heat number 1, a New South Wales Sidecar Championship for 2022 is about to kick off. Riders set to go. They look pretty good at the line. Let's go. Inside getting away quickly with Jackson Bond, but Trelaw quickly goes to the race lead, and he says, see you later, boys. You catch me if you can, and he's out in front. Bond in second spot. Look at Summerling though, right back in third place, looking to try and get up into that second position, and then Marco back behind him in third spot. That's where the battle is at the moment, with Bond in second place, Summerling right behind him, trying to pick up that extra point in third spot. Trelaw now comes down with still a couple to go. The real battle is on. Bond in second spot, that's Jackson, and Summerling and Wild right behind, looking to try and get through a passing move, but they just not quite close enough. And Marco and Robinson back at the tail, 1 to go for the race leader, Darren Trelaw. He's out in front. Here comes Summerling on the outside. Has a look on the inside. He gets a touch and he goes through. He's looking to try and muscle his way through. Bond up on the inside. Now the bike's gone. The bike's died on him. Trelaw takes the first up heat win. Summerling's going to come second. Third place is going to go to Marco and Robinson, and Jackson Bond. And Jacob Richards copped one hell of a whack coming into that turn, and gee, he really did get belted in the back of the helmet there as he came out. Let's hope he's okay. But gee whiz, the boys mixing it up in this first heat. It was Darren Trelaw and Blake Cox flew away to take the win in heat number 1. Second, Jack Summerling and Marty Wild, they bullied their way into second spot. Third place has gone to Jared Marco and Wade Robertson, and Jackson Bond and Jacob Richards, unfortunately, onto the infield for heat number 1. Darren, time for the heat. Don't say 6:37 either. I meant the race time. 1:04.78 was the time taken. Trelaw and Cox take the win. Summerling and Wild, they bullied their way into second spot. Jared Marco picks up a point for third, and unfortunately failing to finish was Jackson Bond and Jacob Richards after they came together with Summerling and Wild, who picked up second spot. Okay, so out on the track they are for heat number 2. Grant Bond, Glenn Cox in the red. Maxie Howes and Riley Commons, they'll be in the white. Shane Hudson, Hutto and Adam Constable in the blue. And Steve Saunders and Dwayne Dennis will come out up against the boards out of gate number 4. This is heat 2. The New South Wales 2022 Sidecar Championship. Riders now coming up to the tape area. There's Hudson and Constable in blue. Up comes the white of Howes and Commons. Keep an eye on them, as Darren mentioned earlier. I'll be looking to go quick. There's Bondy and Glenn Cox on the inside. And on the outside, Saunders and Dennis set for the start. Heat number 2. Away they go. Both got a little beauty on the inside. Front rear ups and so too did Maxie Howes on the outside, but it was Bondy come through on the inside. Hudson followed him through into second spot. Howe's got shuffled back to third place. Up on the inside now comes Saunders. And the real look at him back in fourth spot. Oh, you want to start to get going. He's out of the points at the moment. And the back they go. Bond the race leader. Second spot Hudson. Chasing a race in two here right at the back as well. There's a battle. Saunders hanging on. Maxie Howe comes through. Still a couple to go. Saunders has a bit of a look. Bond up in front of the race. Hudson trying to get to him, but he just can't make up the ground that he needs. Out of the bottom turn they come. One lap to go. Grant Bond the race leader. Second spot Hudson. And a gap back into Saunders. Bounces off the pace at the moment. Round out of turn two they come. And the old Foxes down into the bottom turn 3-4. They'll charge to the checkered flag and they'll grab the 3 points. Grant Bond, Glenn Cox takes the victory. Hudson into second. Third spot goes to Saunders. And oh, bad luck for Max Howes and Riley Commons, who got shuffled like a deck of cards back to the tail, and they just miss out on the points in heat number 2. But what a cracker. Grant Bond, Glenn Cox, they have been riding really quick lately, and they've picked up the win in heat number 2. What a beauty. So Bond and Cox, they take the win in the 3 points in a very quick heat. Second spot, Shane Hudson and Adam Constable, they pick up the 2 points. 1 point going to Steve Saunders and Dwayne Dennis. And then just missing out on the points this time round was Maxie Howes and Riley Commons. What a great second heat in this round number 1. And the 3 points to Grant Bond, Glenn Cox, 2 to Hudson and Constable, 1 to Saunders and Dennis, and missing out on the points, Maxie Howes and Riley Commons, as the riders for heat number 3 come out onto the track. And let's have a look how they stack up in this one. We got Richard Stevens and Nick O'Brien in the white, Kyle Roller and Tyrese Connors in the red, Timmy Lawrence and Donnie Morris in blue, and then in the yellow, Paul Hemsworth, Adam Botham will come out of gate number 4, just sorting the last second things out on the bike, and they will head around to take up their spot. So this is heat number 3, round number 1, New South Wales Sidecar Championship for 2022. Already a couple of really good opening heats. And this is heat number 3 as riders make their way up onto the start line area. That's Stevens and O'Brien in the white. They'll come out of gate number 3. Up alongside them, that's Timmy Lawrence and Don Morris in the blue. Roller and Connors in red, and Hemsworth and Botham, watch the boys out wide in gate number 4. Right. A bit of gardening on the line. Just waiting for Hemsworth to roll up. Oh, hopefully the bike hasn't. Now he moves up. We'll wait for the start. Stevens is ready to go in the white. Says, "Come on, boys." Heat number 3. Let's go, race. Stevens and O'Brien on the inside. Timmy Lawrence trying to go with him. He sneaks into second spot. There's Hemsworth and Botham on the outside, looking to try and get up outside of Kyle Roller and Tyrese West as they come out of the corner. Lap number 1 down and away goes the race leader, Stevens and O'Brien. They're starting to fly away now. This battle for second. Hemsworth on the inside, on the outside Lawrence. Hemsworth slides through on the inside, up into second place now. 2 laps still to go. Oh, now Hemsworth in trouble coming out of the turn. Lawrence came back at him on the inside, but he couldn't quite pick him up. He's high on the track, Hemsworth. Forget about the guys up front. Stevens and O'Brien, they've got cleared away. A battle for second. second. Hemsworth in second place. Got a little sideways. Lawrence trying to catch him. Filled in as he came out of the corner. And then back at the tail is Roller and Connors. Down the back they go. And it's all over Red Rover. They've gapped them. Out of the turn they come. Checkered flag waves. Richard Stevens, Nick O'Brien. Oh, they're quick. Second spot goes to Hemsworth and Roller. Third place to Lawrence and Donnie Morris. And fourth spot, Kyle Roller and Tyrese Connors. Wow. Richard Stevens, Nick O'Brien. Kafey said to keep an eye on those a little earlier on, and he was spot on because, gee, they're quick. And they've taken out heat number 3. Now, riders out for the final heat in round number 1. This is heat 4. A little bit of moisture starts to fall. And let's have a look at the way they line up in this heat, 4th and final heat in round 1. We've got Mick Farrell Sr. and Brett Towns in the yellow. You've got Mick Hoogland and Robert Scott, the second qualifiers. They'll be in blue. In the red, Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright. And in the white, Hayden Bond and Liam Cox. That's the field of 4 riders. This is heat number 4, round number 1 of the New South Wales Sidecar Championship. Gee whiz, once we get down to that business end, it's going to be on for young and old. Some quick races here at the moment. Very impressed with Richard Stevens, Nick O'Brien in that previous heat. They were fast. And up come the riders for heat number 4. Hoogland and Scott in the blue. There's Bondi, Hayden in the white with Liam Cox. And you got Mick Farrell Sr. and Brett Towns. They'll come out of the outside, and then on the inside, Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright out of gate number 1 in the red. Almost set. Riders moving up. Heat number 4. Set for the start. Away they go. Who did Hayden Bond on the outside? But it was Trelaw. That's Jake that got the start. Look at Hayden Bond on the outside. He's side by side as they go down back straight away. Bond on the outside gets the advantage. Trelaw comes back at him, but he can't pick him off, and Hayden Bond grabs the race lead. Second spot, Jake Trelaw. Third is Hoogland and Scott, and then tail out of this one, Mick Farrell Sr. But down the back straight away. Oh, and he's been quick over the last few meetings here at Kurri. Hayden Bond and Liam Cox in control of this 4th heat. Second spot, Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright. Not close enough to have a dig. Then Hoogland and Scott back in 3rd placing. And 4th spot on the track, Mick Farrell Sr. and Brett Towns. But they'll come down with just 1 lap to go from here. And it's all Hayden Bond, Liam Cox out in front. Trelaw, that's Jake, and Eli Wright in 2nd. Hoogland and Scott back in 3rd, and then tail out of it is Farrell, but into the bottom turn for the last time, and well in control. Heat 4 win. Hayden Bond, Liam Cox take the victory. Jake Trelaw, Eli Wright in 2nd. 3rd's going to go to qualifier 2, Hoogland and Scott, and then 4th spot across the line, Farrell Sr. and Towns. Good win. Had control of that one. He got pushed early, Hayden Bond, but he managed to come through and grab the bag, the 3 points for heat number 4. So that wraps up the first round of racing for the 2022 New South Wales Sidecar title. And let's have a look at the the table, the winners in that first round, we saw Darren Shaw, Blake Cox, they're on 3 points. Grant Bond and Glenn Cox on 3. Richard Stevens and Nick O'Brien also winners on 3 points. And Hayden Bond, Liam Wright, we just saw grab the 3 points for heat number 4. So a good first up round of racing. A little bit of rain starting to fall here at KURRI. There's not heavy rain. It's not going to affect the track too much. It might be a bit unpleasant for the crowd, but a lot of the guys seem to have the gazebos set up and are under cover. But as I mentioned, not heavy rain. It's just light rain at the moment. So a little bit of track prep, and then after the track prep, I think we're going to have our support race for the night. The first of our supporters, the Billy Hobbs Cup. But it'll all depend on those riders that were in the time trial and whether or not they can get out onto the track for the support program. So a bit of track prep, chance for you to pop out, grab a cuppa, and then back with us for all the action of round number 2 of the New South Wales Sidecar titles here at KURRI. Okay, so no support program tonight, unfortunately, due to the bikes that have unable to be started. Actually, we had the 3 that missed out on the qualifying, getting through the meeting proper, but 2 of those bikes have unfortunately succumbed to mechanical issues, and they have been unable to get onto the track, so that would only leave the 1 competitor for our support program. So unfortunately there won't be a support program tonight for the Billy Hobbs Cup, but we've certainly still got plenty of action to come on the racetrack for the 2022 New South Wales Speedway Sidecar Championship. Hope you're enjoying all the action at home. Massive thanks to Geordie for the coverage here tonight. And already we've seen a great opening heat, opening round of racing. We've still got 4 more to come. And it's really going to, let's have a look at round number 2. You've got Jackson Bond and Jacob Richards, who were right up there in that first heat, but then got basically muscled out of the road and then ended up on the infield, and they missed out on the points. You've got Grant Bond and Glenn Cox, who look in nice touch tonight. They picked up a win and 3 points, so they're on 3. Yeah, then you've got Richard Stevens, Nick O'Brien on 3 points in this next heat, and Mick Farrell Senior and Brett Towns in the red. They're still yet to pick up any points as well. So we've got 2 riders looking for their first points, and then 2 riders who will both have wins in that opening round, Grant Bond and Glenn Cox, and Richard Stevens, Nick O'Brien. That will be a good clash first up for our second round. Now a little bit of rain falling has it's a little bit just nuisance value at the moment. It's not real anything that can be of any threat to the meeting, because it's very, very light at the moment. So conditions of the track looking spot on. Let's have a look how they stack up in heat number 5. It's going to be a beauty. We've got a couple of hello. Track ready for heat number 5. Jackson Bond, Jacob Richards will be looking for their first point of the night. They missed out in that opening round. They're in the blue, in the white. Grant Bond and Glenn Cox, they certainly didn't miss out on any points. They grabbed a maximum of 3 in that opening round, and they will be in the white helmet colour. In the yellow, Richard Stevens and Nick O'Brien also picked up a win. They were impressive, the guys, and they'll be out on the boards out in gate number 5 in this one, so keep an eye on them. They'll be looking to try and get a good start away into that turn 1-2, and maybe try and get the whole shot in front of the rest of the riders out of the gate. And then the other riders in it are Mick Farrell Senior and Brett Towns, who will be looking for their first points of the night. As the riders move their way around, this is heat number 5, round number 2. Stevens and O'Brien, as I mentioned, they were impressive in that opening round. Let's see what they can do here. Bondi and Coxie. Geez, two legends in the white. Really going quickly. And then alongside will be Jackson, Bond and Jacob Richards. They also were looking pretty good in that opening heat before they went onto the infield. So they'll be looking to try and grab a couple of points in this one. And Farrell and Towns move their way up into gate number 1 in the red. This is heat number 5. Round number 2, and off they go. One's got to wait on the start in the middle of the pack. And on the outside it was O'Brien. O'Brien trying to get around the outside. Bond on the inside. And Grant Bond takes up the running. O'Brien now looking in the second spot. There's Jackson Bond back behind trying to get up on the inside to get up in the second placing. But Grant Bond, Glenn Cox are the race leaders. The second place is Stevens and O'Brien, but they're off the pace a little. At the moment, Bond going very quickly. There's O'Brien getting a bit closer. There's Farrell and Towns pulling off onto the infield. O'Brien still in second. Jackson Bond and Richards back in third place, but they're going to have to go to catch this bloke out of the bottom turn 3-4. He'll come and he'll have one lap left to run. Grant Bond, Glenn Cox out in front in the white helmet colour. Second place, O'Brien trying to give chase strongly, and that's Stevens and O'Brien, but they just can't make up the ground. Jackson Bond and Jacob Richards are back in third place, but it's all over. Check and flag time, and they're on fire tonight, the boys. Grant Bond, Glenn Cox, they take the victory, and another 3 points. Stevens and O'Brien in second, and third place goes to Jackson Bond and Jacob Richards, with Mick Farrell Sr. and Brett Towns unfortunately having to withdraw onto the infield and were unable to finish the race. But gee whiz, they're quick tonight, Kafey. So a good fast round. Grant Bond, Glenn Cox, they're on fire here tonight. They're really fighting determinedly, and they want to grab this New South Wales title. As riders come onto the track for heat number 6, round 2. And Darren's run through the field. Another good heat. Summerling and Wild in the white, they're on 2 points. Howes and Commons, they'll be looking for their first points of the night in the yellow. Roller and Connors in blue, and Hoogland and Scott in the red. They're the 4 starters for heat number 6, round number 2, as they make their way around to the start line area. As I mentioned, Maxie Howes and Riley Commons, they'll be looking to try and grab the maximum 3 points here, but keep an eye on Wild as well, and Summerling and Wild in the white. They picked up a second in that first round, and they'll be looking to try and go one better if they can. Hoogland and Scott on the inside in the red. Up comes Summerling and Wild in the white. Into 4 in the yellow. Howes and Commons, and making up the field. Howes and Commons quickly went to the lead. On the inside, Summerling and Wild. Hoogland up onto the infield. Down back straight away. Summerling and Wild out in front. Howes and Commons in second place. They're going to have to try and run them down, but they're out very quick. Summerling out in front at the moment, and they're going to have to really go. They're still within race distance of making a dive for this race lead. Back in third place, it's Roller and Connors. But look at this battle up front between Summerling and Wild, and Howes and Commons trying to come from the inside. It's still Summerling and Wild with a couple of runs. They lead the way. Second place, still holding down his and and Commons. Now they get a bit closer down back straight away. Into the bottom turn they come. Down towards the 1 lap to go. Oh, Summerley is on the inside. He has a bit of a look at him. Wild and Summerley keep him tight on the inside. House and Commons had opened up. Up on the inside they go. Into the race lead. Back on the inside Summerley. On the outside House. And crossed up. Checkered flag. Great move. House and Commons. Summerley and Wild into second spot. Third place across the line. The blue of Roller and Connors. And Hoogland and Scott, after going onto the infield, got going again. Oh, what a great heat. Great scrap up front in heat number 6, but a good win to Howes and Commons. Okay, heat number 7 out on the track. Let's have a look. The riders for this one. That's Jared Marco and Wade Robinson in the yellow. They're on 1 point. On the white, in the white, we've got Shane Hudson and Adam Constable, who picked up a second place in that opening round. They're on 2 points. Timmy Lawrence and Donnie Morris in the red. I'll come out of gate 1. And then in the blue, Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright will come out of gate number 2. So that's the starters for seven. Just waiting for Timmy Lawrence and Don Morris to come out of the pit gate area. They had a little bit of drama with the bike. Looks like it's sorted. And they'll make their way round to the start line area for heat number 7, round number 2 of the New South Wales Sidecar Championship for 2022. Keep an eye on Hudson in this one in the white. Shane Hudson, Adam Constable on 2 points at the moment. Looking to build on that. Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright though in the blue. They'll be looking to try and grab a 3 points in this one. Timmy Lawrence, Donnie Morris in red. And then Jared Marco, Wade Robinson will come out of gate number 4 in the yellow. This is heat number 7, round number 2. Riders up to the line, almost set for a start. Lawrence on the inside, but it was Hudson that got the start. Marco on the outside. Trelaw comes through on the inside and goes straight up into second place. Lawrence back to third. Marco round the outside now. Race leader though, Shane Hudson. He's going to be hard to track down from there. Trelaw in second spot, that's Jake. Now Marco up into third placing. Lawrence back to 4th spot, but up in front of the race, it's all Hudson at the moment. He's really starting to stretch away in this one. Shane Hudson, Adam Constable, that bike looking quick tonight. Jake Trelaw, Eli Wright back in second place. Then you've got Jared Marco, Wade Robinson and Timmy Lawrence and Donnie Morris. So down they come. They'll only have one to go from here. And it's all Hudson out in front. He's in control of this one. He goes into turn 1-2 for the last time. Chased by Jake Trelaw, but he's not close enough. Marco back behind him and Timmy Lawrence. But it's checkered flag time out of the bottom turn. Oh, smooth. They look smooth and quick. Hudson and Constable take the win. Second spot goes to Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright. Third across the line is Marco and Robertson. And fourth spot to Timmy Lawrence and Donnie Morris. Gee whiz, he was in control of that one. Shane Hudson, Adam Constable bagged the 3 points in heat number 7. Okay, heat number 8, final heat of round 2. Darren Trelaw, Blake Cox in the red. The blue of Steve Saunders, Dwayne Dennis. Paul Hemsworth, Adam Botham in the white. And Hayden Bond, Liam Cox in the yellow. That's your field for heat number 8. Round number 2, the 2022 New South Wales Sidecar title, the Billy Hobbs Cup. Riders making their way up to the start for this final heat in round number 2. Keep an eye, Trelaw on the inside in the red and Cox. Hayden Bond, Liam Cox on the outside. And a couple sandwiched in the middle. Set for the start. Away they go. On the inside, he goes to the race running. Second spot, Hemsworth and Botham now. Hayden Bond gets into a clear third place. Steve Saunders back in fourth spot, but it's all Darren Trelaw, Blake Cox out in front. Oh, they're starting to fly away. Second spot where the battle is. Hemsworth and Botham in the white helmet colour. Third place is being held down by Hayden Bond and Richardson. Hayden Bond in the yellow helmet. Oh, had a bit of a touch there. It's all Trelaw at the moment. Battle for second spot. Hemsworth on the outside. Hayden Bond on the inside. And it stuck his nose up and had a look. Down back straight they go. They're getting close to him, only one lap to go. Up on the inside now, Bond. That's a crack at second place. Down they come as he got the 3D out. Up in the second spot goes Hayden Bond. Back to third goes Hemsworth. Down the goes the race leader into the bottom turn for the last time. It's all Darren Trelaw. Blake Cox grabbed the checkered flag. Second spot's going to be close, but Hayden Bond, great ride. Third place goes to Hemsworth and Botham. And then fourth spot, Steve Saunders and Dwayne Dennis in the blue. Grab the checkered flag. Oh, another impressive win from Darren Trelaw and Blake Cox. We've got Darren Trelaw and Blake Cox on 6 point, Grant Bond and Glenn Cox on 6 points as well. And then 3 riders on 5 points, just 1 point adrift. Shane Hudson, Adam Constable, haven't been going quick. Hutto and Constable, they're only one off the pace. So too Richard Stevens and Nick O'Brien. Have been impressed with those guys. Hayden Bond and Liam Cox as well. All on 5 points, 1 off the pace. So let's have a look at the heat number 9. And it sees the white of Jackson Bond and Jacob Richards. The red of Maxie Howes and Riley Commons. In yellow we've got Tim Lawrence and Donnie Morris. And in the blue, Hayden Bond, Liam Cox. That will be the opening heat, heat number 9, round 3. Almost to the halfway mark. And riders will be looking to try and bag as many points as they can, heading into those final couple of rounds of racing. The fuck? Okay, riders coming out for round number 3.
Waiting this time.
Don't blame you. Heat number 9. Thanks, Kafey. Round 3. Jackson Bond, Jacob Richards. Currently on 1 point. They'll be looking to try and get a few here so they can keep in touch with those top point scorers. They're in the white. Maxie Howes, Riley Commons. They're on 3 points in the red. Then you got Timmy Lawrence, Donnie Morris on 1 point. And they're in the yellow. Hayden Bond, Liam Cox on 5 points in the blue. Another good heat. Round up, heat number 9. Round number 3. Got away quickly on the inside. Bond tried to dive through underneath in the blue helmet colour. That's Hayden. And it's Howes out in front. Hayden Bond in second place. In the battle for third spot, Lawrence trying to go around the outside of Jackson Bond. But down they come, there's Howes and Commons. They're out in front. Hayden Bond giving chase. Down low on the track. Now they get to drive down the back straight and get a little bit closer to them. Howes and Commons in front. Here comes Bond on the inside. Hayden Bond. He has a look at him. Down that straightaway they go. Bond now has a duck on the inside. Can he grab the race lead away? No, on the outside. Howes and Commons back on the inside. Hayden Bond into the bottom turn they go. They've still got 1 lap to go from here. Howes leads the way. Bond in second spot. Then comes Jackson Bond and Timmy Lawrence with a battle up front. Howes leads the way. I think he's got the advantage that he needs. Down back straight away. Maxie Howes kicks away as they come into the bottom turn. Checkered flag time. Great ride, Max Howes coming. Bond second spot, Richard. Third place goes to Jackson Bond and Richards, and 4th spot to Timmy Lawrence and Don Morris. Oh, Howes and Commons grabbed the victory. Oh, geez, they had to work hard for it though. Summerling Wild in yellow. Grant Bond, Glenn Cox in blue. Paul Hemsworth, Adam Botham in red. And Jake Trelaw, Eli Wright in the white. They're the starters for heat number 10, round number 3, the 2022 New South Wales Sidecar Championship incorporating the Billy Hobbs Cup. And around to the start line they come. That's Jake Trelaw in the white. He will come out of gate number 3 on the track. The red helmet colour, that's Hemsworth and Botham. And they'll come out of gate number 1. Grant Bond, Glenn Cox in the blue. They'll come out of 2. And Wild and Summerling and Wild in the yellow will come out of gate 4 on the boards for heat number 10. This should be another good heat. Not much between these riders points wise. Summerling and Wilder on the 4 points. Bond and Cox will be looking for their 3rd win. In the blue, they're on 6 points. Hemsworth, Botham on 3. They'll be looking to pick some points up here. And then Trelaw and Wright on 4 points in the white. They're your starters. Heat number 10. Round number 3. Got away well on the inside. Grant Bond tried to duck for on the inside. Hemsworth on the outside. Bond on the inside. Got the advantage. And he's come through to the race lead. Hemsworth in 2nd spot. Trelaw back in 3rd. And Summerling back at the tail of the field. 4th spot. He's going to have to make it a go on to get up into the points. Grant Bond out of turn 1, 2 he goes. Down back straight away. Starting to stretch that lead a little bit over Hemsworth and Botham in 2nd spot. Back in 3rd placing is Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright and Summerling and they got the bump. They went through in the third spot, and back in the fourth spot goes Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright. Only one to go from here. Race leaders Glenn Cox out in front. Second spot Hemsworth and Botham. They're not going to get close to them. Back in third place is Summerling and Wild, and onto the infield goes Jake Trelaw. But here's the checkered flag, and here's the 3 points. Goes to Grant Bond and Glenn Cox. Hemsworth and Botham in second in the red. Third spot goes to Summerling and Wild in yellow. And Jake Trelaw, Eli Wright got bumped in that bottom turn, and unfortunately they've had to pull off onto the infield. For heat number 11, and let's have a look how they line up for this one. Jared Marco, Wade Robertson in the white, they're on 2 points. You got Steve Saunders, Dwayne Dennis in the red, they're on 1 point. Richard Stevens, Nick O'Brien on 5 points in the blue. And then Mick Hugel and Robert Scott in the yellow are on 1 point. So they're the 4 starters for heat number 11, the second last heat of round number 3. Huglen and Scott in the yellow. They'll come out of gate number 4 up close to the fence. There's Steve Saunders in the red. He'll come out of gate number 1 down on the bottom of the track. Marco and Robertson in the white will come out of gate number 3 and out of gate 2. In the blue helmet colour, Stevens and O'Brien. They've been impressive, the guys. They're on 5 points. Looking to bag another 3 here to keep them up in touch with the top of the leaderboard. Let's see what they can do. They'll be looking to come out quickly out of gate number 2. Set for the start. Away they go. In the middle of the track, it quickly goes to the race lead. Into the turn they go, Stevens and O'Brien. Out in front, they're starting to pull right away in this one. Saunders in second spot in the red helmet colour. Back in third place is Marco on the inside. Hugel on the outside, trying to sneak up into the points, up in third spot. But at the moment, it's all out in front. Stevens and O'Brien, they're doing it easily. They've got control of this heat as they come out of the bottom turn and blast their way across the stripe once again. Saunders in second place, giving chase, but he can't get close enough to him. Marco back in third, and fourth spot is Huglen, but down back straight away. Stevens and O'Brien, they've got this one under control with only 1 lap left to go. 3 points are in the bag. Blue helmet colour. Saunders in the red. Then comes Marco back in third spot, and just out of the points is Huglen in the yellow. But into the bottom turn for the last time, the checkered flag waves, and it waves for the race winner, Stevens and O'Brien. Second place, oh gee, Steve Saunders got a bit sketchy, and he grabs second spot. Third place goes to Marco and Robinson, and Huglen and Scott pick up 4th spot in the yellow. Richard Stevens, Nick O'Brien, they're starting to really wind up now, and they bag the 3 points for heat number 11. Fuck. 3 points. Oopsie. Thanks, Kafey. We get set for the last heat, round number 3 of the 2022 New South Wales Sidecar Championships, incorporating the Billy Hobbs Cup. And let's have a look at the starters for this one. Darren Trelaw, Blake Cox. They'll be looking to make 3 from 3. They'll be in the blue. Hudson and Constable in the yellow. Roller and Connors in the white. And rounding out the field, Mick Farrell Sr. and Brett Towns will be in the red. So there your starters for heat number 12. This is round number 3. There's Hudson in the yellow. So up they come. Who will it be? For heat number 12. Trelaw and Cox move up now to take their spot. Hudson on the outside. Set for the start. Away they go. Streaker again. Straight to the race when he goes. Hudson right on his hammer. Down the back straight away. Darren Trelaw leads the way. Shane Hudson in second spot, giving chase in the yellow helmet colour. He's got a big task ahead of him. He's trying to stay in touch with Trelaw. Trelaw's got him covered at the moment as they blast their way into turn 1, 2 and back straight away. Hudson is giving chase strongly. He's trying to stick with Trelaw. Up on the inside he goes. Trelaw about mid-track. Comes across his right once more. Trelaw in control of his heat number 12. Looking to make it 3 from 3. Look at Hudson though. Hudson starting to wind it right on. He's trying desperately. Roller and Connors back behind him. Look at Hudson right up to Trelaw he goes. Is he going to make a dive at him? Trelaw got the race lead. Hudson in the second spot. Out of turn 2 they go. Down back straight away. Half a lap left to go. Hudson's going to try and make a dive at Trelaw. He's really pushed him hard. Checkered flag time. Great ride Hudson in second place. Third place across the line in the white helmet colour was Roller and Connors, and then Farrell and Towns in third place. Well, what a ride from Hudson and Constable. They really pushed the champs there, but it was Trelaw and Cox that grabbed the 3 points. Goes to Timmy Lawrence, and fourth spot goes to Mick Farrell Sr. Good ride, good win for Summerling and Wild, and they pick up the 3 points in heat number 14.
After 14, Jack Summerling, 3 points, takes him now on to 8 points. Second place, Stephen Saunders, takes him on to 5 points. Tim Lawrence in third, 1 point now takes him on to 2 points. And Mick Farrell failed to score at the time of run hour 7.75. Next event through, event 15. Shows us Rick Stevens, who's been on song tonight so far with 8 points. He's in a red helmet colour, blue helmet colour, Max House, the fellow Broken Hill Riders in red and blue. Then we go out to yellow helmet colour of Darren Trelaw. So the white helmet colour of Darren Shaw, and yellow helmet colour of Jake Shaw. If it's done, who's this one?
Yeah, this will be a good one. Yep, they come. Grant Bond, Glenn Cox in the yellow. Hayden Bond and Liam Cox in the red. This will, as Darren said, will be a good heat. The blues, Jared Marco and Wade Robinson, and the white helmet colour is Roller and Connors. So this is heat number 15, round number 4. And riders coming up to the start line. Watch out for Hayden Bond, Liam Cox on the inside. They'll be looking to get away quickly in that first turn. Marco will come out of 2 in the blue, and Robinson. Grant Bond, Glenn Cox in the yellow. Keep an eye on the old fella. And then you can throw in final riders. Set to the start, away they go. Hayden Bond got away quickly on the inside. Grant Bond on the outside. Grant Bond leads. Hayden Bond in second. As they come down and complete the full lap. Pretty close at the moment. Grant Bond. As they got that point. Hayden Bond. Hayden Bond in second place. Still got a couple of laps left to go. Hayden Bond has the left up on the inside. Final point for him. Up third place. Oh, and another great heat. And the Bond boys and the Cox are turning it on. But it was a good victory for Grant Bond and Glenn Cox. They keep their unbeaten run intact and grab the 3 points.
Event 15. Grant Bond fires in a 105.75. Great ride from Hayden, right on his dad's butt. So, interesting to see who makes it into the B and who eventually the top 3 that go into the A. So we're getting close to that end of the night now. So Grant Bond on 12 points, unbeaten, but in the next round he comes up against Darren Shaw. Second place goes to Hayden Bond, currently on 9 points, so should make the B with 9 points. Third place goes to Jared Marco, running out of 4 points, and Josh Marco ended up on the third with 2 points. So next heat through, Jackson Bond. In the red helmet colour blue, Stephen Saunders. Then we have Jake Shaw, and on the outside in yellow, oh, wrong one, looked too far there. Red helmet colour, Rick Stevens. Blue helmet colour, Max House. Jake Shaw in yellow, and Darren Shaw in the right helmet colour. Event 16 coming your way.
Oh, an absolute beauty, JP. Well, the heat to end round number 4. As you said, Darren Trelaw, Cox, they'll be looking to start a maximum 12. They're in the white. Stevens and O'Brien in the red. They're only 1 point adrift. They'll come from the inside, out of gate number 1. They'll be looking to try and get into that first turn first if they can. House and Commons in the blue, and Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright will be out on the boards in gate number 4. This is heat number 16, final heat, round number 4. The 2022 New South Wales Sidecar title, incorporating the Billy Hobbs Cup. And let's see what happens in this one. Stevens and O'Brien on the inside, Trelaw and Cox out of 3. House and Commons in the blue. Set for no, not yet, not yet. Now Trelaw set. Set for the start. Away they go. Good start by House. In the middle of the track. Trelaw out front now. House and Commons in second spot. Then come back in third spot. Trying to make up the ground they need. Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright in third place, and Maxie Howes unfortunately ran off the track with Riley Commons, and they were unable to grab any points out of that one. That may be costly going into the final round.
Being won by Darren Trelaw with a time of 1:05.53. But just a smidgen out of that was Green Bond, and Shane Hudson with the fastest time of the night of 1:04.69. So Trelaw currently on 12 points with a round to go. 10 points for Rick Stevens. And 5 points for Jake Trelaw. Shane for House and Commons that time. They really needed that 2 points to get them secured into the big final.
Unfortunately, couldn't make that last trial, the qualifying time trial earlier on, so they're coming out for a bit of a blast around, and it's Jeff Godfrey and Ben Petrie. Both of them were out a little bit earlier on. Originally originally from Queensland, but he's moved down here now, and he had some electrical issues with the bike earlier, but he sorted that. Last round of point scoring. So last chance for riders to get points. And the two riders that are on a maximum 12 will meet in this final heat of the night, heat number 20. What a way to finish up the heats of this title meeting. And Darren Treloar, Blake Cox will come up against Grant Bond and Glenn Cox in that heat number 20 to see who will finish on the maximum. But heat number 17 is next out on the track to kick off our final heat round. And we've got Jackson Bond, Jacob Richards in the red, currently on 3 points. Then you've got Kyle Roller and Reece Connors in the yellow. They're on 2 points. Steve Saunders and Dwayne Dennis on 5 points in the blue. And also on 5 points, Jake Treloar and Eli Wright. So this will be a chance for Jake Treloar and Eli Wright to maybe sneak into that B final. Or Steve Saunders has been riding well tonight. I think that's the new machine. And Dwayne Dennis, they're also on 5 points. And they'll be looking to try and grab that maximum 3 points if they can. It's going to be very valuable as we head into this final round of racing of point scoring for the 2022 New South Wales Sidecar title, incorporating the Billy Hobbs Cup. Massive thanks to Newcastle Access. Also Griffin Group of Companies, thanks to Griffo and the boys in the MSRT racing team, Jared, Marco and the gang. Thank you very much for your support as the bikes head their way around to the start line. That's Roller and Connors. They'll be in the yellow. Out high on the track out of gate number 4. Saunders in the blue helmet colour will come out of gate number 2. You've got Jake Treloar in the white out of 3. And then Jackson Bond in the red out of gate number 1. That's the field of riders for heat number 17, round number 5. Last round, last chance for riders to pick up points as they roll their way around. There's been some really good fast racing here tonight. The track's held up beautifully. And we go into the finals. It's going to be an absolute ball tearer. That's Roller in the yellow, looking for his spot. Jake Treloar, who copped that bang on the hand you heard from Darren Cape a bit earlier. He's in the white. Saunders in the blue. Jackson Bond in the red. Set for a start. Away they go. Treloar went high in the air. Jackson Bond on the inside took advantage. Steve Saunders 3 wide as they come out of turn number 2. But it's Jackson Bond, the race leader. Jake Treloar in 2nd place. Saunders back in 3rd spot. But Jackson Bond, he jumps out of the start. He's gone straight to the race lead. Look at Treloar though. Up on it opened up. Treloar came through underneath and he goes to the race running now. Jackson Bond tries to come back on the outside. Treloar though nice and tight down low on the track. Back in 3rd spot Saunders and in the trouble with the bike. Roller came round the outside up into 3rd place, but it's Jake Treloar at the moment. He goes down back straight away with about 1.5 left to go. He's got 3 points in his sights. Can it be enough? Will it be enough? 1 lap left for Treloar. Jackson Bond in 2nd place, then comes back behind them Kyle Roller. Steve Saunders is out of it altogether, back in 4th spot, but down into the bottom corner for the very last time. The checkered flag's going to fly, and it's going to fly, but he takes the win. 2nd spot Jackson Bond, 3rd spot Kyle Roller, And 4th place is going to go to Steve Saunders, who ran into trouble with the bike as he came into that 2nd lap, and bad luck for the boys. And he dribbles his way across the line in 4th spot, but a good ride, Jake Trelaw. Picks up 1.3. 2nd was, this goes to 5. Missing out was stays on. So that was mother father. So outcome riders for heat number 18. Round number 5. Let's look at the lineup for this heat. Summerling and Wild in the blue, they're on 8 points. You've got Hudson and Constable in the white, they're on 10. Also on 10 points, Stevens and O'Brien, they're in the red. And then 9 points, Hayden Bond and Liam Cox. So this is a good heat. A lot of riders, 2 riders on 10, 1 on 9. This could determine who goes through to that A final directly as they roll their way around to the start line. That's Stevens and O'Brien in the red. They'll come out of gate number 1. Been a fairly good gate tonight, that bottom inside gate. Summerling and Wild, they'll be alongside them in the blue. In the white, Hudson, Constable. Gee, the boys have been on fire tonight. I think I heard Kafey say fastest time of the night so far. And throw in Hayden Bond and Liam Cox in the yellow. And this is one hell of a heat. Heat number 16, round number 5, 2022 New South Wales Sidecar title. Great to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying all the action. We've still got a bit to come. Almost all set. Waiting for Stevens and O'Brien now. Now they move on. Set for the start. Away they go. Hudson was quick to get away. Hudson on the outside. Up on the inside. Hayden Bond. He tried to come through on the inside of Stevens and O'Brien, and he did. Up into 3rd space. They're going back to 4th spot. Wild and Summerling and Wild. Now they drop back to the last place and up into 3rd place. And look at the battle up front. It's Hudson, the race leader. Hayden Bond in 2nd place. Back in 3rd place, giving chase strongly, trying to make up the ground. Stevens and O'Brien, they're up in the points, but they need to get up that little bit higher. And Hudson, he's been on fire tonight, Shane Hudson. Out of the bottom turn, 1-2 they go, down back straight away. And they've got this heat in control at the moment. Look at Hayden Bond though, still pouring on the pressure. Stevens and O'Brien there as well. 1 lap to go. Hudson out in front, Hayden Bond in 2nd, look out, here comes Stevens and O'Brien. They're desperately trying to get up on the inside to grab that point into the bottom turn for the last time. Checkered flag, Hudson takes the win. 2nd spot, Hayden Bond. Right. 3rd place goes to Stevens and O'Brien, and Summerling and Wild at the tail in 4th spot. Oh, super heat, super fast, and the guys on fire tonight. Hudson and Constable, they bag another 3. As we test. Yeah, another good heat. Heat number 19. Jared Marco, Wade Robertson in the red, Maxie Howes and Riley Commons in the yellow. And you've got the blue of Hemsworth and Botham and Mick Farrell Senior and Brett Towns in the white. They're the four starters for heat number 19, fifth and final round of the New South Wales Sidecar Championships incorporating the Billy Hobbs Cup. And riders now moving their way up to the start line. That's Hemsworth and Botham, and as you heard Kafey say, there's an Aprilia motor in that. You don't see many of those at all in the sidecar ranks. But gee whiz, it can get along quick, I'll tell you. Jared Marco in the red, Farrell Senior in the white, Maxie Howes in the yellow. Up comes Hemsworth. This is heat number 19, round number 5. Not quite set. Whoa. Not ready yet. The boys on the outside had their hands in the air. They weren't ready to go. Now they move up. That's Howes and Commons set for the start. Off they go. Commons through the middle by Hemsworth. Howes and Commons, they get the bump as they come out of turn number 1, 2. Down back straight away. Hemsworth the race leader. Howes in second spot, trying desperately to find a way through. Got crossed up a little. Oh, Marco! Crazy on the inside, and he goes off onto the infield of the track. And back in third spot now is Farrell Senior, but meanwhile up front of the race leader is Hemsworth. He leads comfortably at the moment from Maxie. And then they're the only real two in the battle for the race lead at the moment. Down the back, oh, Hemsworth got wide. Howes wasn't close enough to make a dive at him on the inside. Farrell pulls off. It's going to go down to the last lap. 1 to go. Can they hold the race lead? Hemsworth in front. Here comes Howes. He's trying desperately to get to him. Down back straight away. He makes up a little bit of ground. He's got one last dive at him. Into the bottom turn they go. Oh, but he's gone. He threw it away. Race win. Oh, Hemsworth takes the victory. Maxie Howes, bad luck. He threw everything at him, but he just couldn't quite pick him up. And a great heat number 19 win to Hemsworth and Botham, who pick up the 3 points. So into the final round we go, and it's the clash of the Titans. It's Trelaw and Blake Cox against Grant Bond and Glenn Cox. What a way to finish. Both riders on maximum 12 points, 4 rides, 4 wins, but someone will take the victory and get the perfect round, a maximum 15 if they can. Will it be Trelaw? He's been dominant tonight. Around they come, final heat, the clash of the Titans. We've got Trelaw and Cox versus Bond and Cox. There's Mick Hoogland and Robert Scott. They'll come out of gate number 2 in the blue. The yellow of Trelaw and Cox are we up on the boards out of gate 4. You got the white of Lawrence and Morris who come out of 3, and then the red of Grant Bond and Glenn Cox out of gate 1. So Trelaw and Cox will come out of the top of the track out of 4. Bondi and Glenn Cox will come out of the bottom in gate number 1. All important turn 1. Trelaw's been burning them on the outside. Can he do it again? Final heat, heat number 20, round number 4. New South Wales sidecar title for 2022, incorporating the Billy Hobbs Cup. Set for a start. Not quite. Grant Bond just pulling back a little. Trelaw getting the clutch set. Now we're right to go. Set. No, not yet. Bondi not quite ready. Just a bit of positioning for Bondi now. Gets into the groove. Now we're set for a start. Let's go, sidecar race. Bondi on the inside trying to get the jump, but he couldn't quite get it. Round the outside, Trelaw. He got the advantage from the start. Darren Trelaw leads the way. Grant Bond in second. Got a little bit untidy as they came out of 1-2. But it's Trelaw. He's right on the gas tonight. Second spot has been Grant Bond giving chase, but he can't get close to him. Timmy Lawrence back in 3rd place, and Michael Hoogland back at the tail of the field. But round they come with still 2 laps to go. Darren Trelaw leads the way. He's got this under control at the moment, ahead of Grant Bond in 2nd place. Timmy Lawrence is still back in 3rd, and Hoogland in 4th spot. But he's not going to get run down from here. 1 lap left to run. Darren Trelaw, he's going for a maximum 15 points. Grant Bond in 2nd place, giving chase hard, but he was not getting close enough to make a dive at the race lead and into the bottom turn. And this has been an absolute masterclass from the master. Darren Trelaw takes the maximum. 2nd spot goes to Grant Bond. 3rd place to Timmy Lawrence. And 4th spot across the stripe goes to Mick Hoogland. Well, he makes it 5 from 5. Darren Trelaw and Blake Cox, they finish on the maximum 15 points with a final heat 20 win over Grant Bond and Glenn Cox. B semi-final. Before I do that, I want to shout out to the old boy and Kay watching from sunny Queensland. Gee, haven't they had some rain over the past couple of days? They're probably floating on a lilo bed down the main street of Brisbane. But great to have you with us, guys. And 2 big finals to come. And our B semi-final, we've got Max Howes and Commons in the red. Jesus, I can't read my own. Can't read my own writing. Oh, Stevens, that's what it is. Oh, he looks like a 2-year-old wrote it. Stevens and O'Brien in the blue, Hayden Bond and Liam Cox in white, and then Hemsworth and Botham in the yellow. So they're the starters for the B final. And one rider will go through to join Treloar, Grant Bond and Shane Hudson in that final. So only one rider to go through. This is sudden death. Who will it be? Howes and Common in the red. So our B semi-final is the next event out, and we've got our starters for that one. We've got Howes and Common in the red, Stevens and O'Brien in the blue, Hayden Bond and Liam Cox in white, and Hemsworth and Botham in the yellow. The riders going straight through to that final on points. The top 3 point scorers were Darren Treloar, Blake Cox, of course, who finished on a maximum 15 points. Grant Bond and Glenn Cox, who finished with 14, and then Shane Hudson and Adam Constable finishing with 13 points. So we only need one more rider, and that will come from this B semi-final, a brace that's next out on the track. So it should be a really desperate battle for these 4 riders, because only one can go through and the rest will have to pack up. But it's been a fantastic night's racing. Massive thank you to everyone that's turned out here tonight to be with us under some pretty ordinary weather conditions over the past week or so. We haven't copped it as bad as Queensland has, and Sydney areas over the past week. They really did get belted with rain, some really heavy falls and flash floodings in those areas. So we've been fortunate enough here to avoid most of that rain, and the track looking in super nick for the finals. It's held up beautifully tonight. It's been very fast, and what come this A final to see who'll be the New South Wales champ, it will be one hell of a battle between some really fast riders. I've seen tonight Shane Hudson has been quick on that bike. Treloar has gotten away beautifully from his heats. He's gated superbly tonight. He's going to be very hard to beat. And Grant Bond, Glenn Cox, who only finished 1 point adrift. The boys almost picking up a maximum round, but just missing out by the 1 point. So massive final to come as they move their way around now. This is the B final for the 2022 New South Wales Sidecar Championship, incorporating the Billy Hobbs Cup. As the riders now move around to the start line, one rider will go through, and the others, that'll be it for them for the night. There's Bondi in the yellow, and Liam Cox. They'll come out of 3. Not a bad gate 3. Watch out for Stevens and O'Brien though, out of 2. They're going to really take off, and Maxie Howes and Commons in the red out of gate number 1, and throw in the boys on the Aprilia, Hemsworth and Botham in the yellow out of gate 4. This is the B semi-final. 1 to go through, 3 to go home. Who will it be? There's Howes and Commons on the inside now, just getting their spot. Up comes Hemsworth, set for the start. Oh no! Hayden Bond out of gate number 3. jumped just that little tad early, and the boys got tangled up in the start gate. Gee, bad luck. And it was just like being fishing, Liam. Got tangled in the net. So the boys will come into the infield, and gee, that's a shame. But unfortunately, that happens. And they've done well tonight too, Hayden Bond and Liam Cox. They really have done a great job to get into that B semi-final, qualifying in that third place. But unfortunately, they'll be the riders that will be excluded and will be unable to take part in the restart. So riders will readjust now for the start. Don't matter, man. It happens. Final. Away they go. Outside. Stevens tried to go with him on the outside. Stevens got the advantage on Howes. Howes on the inside. Stevens and O'Brien on the outside. Oh, this is going to be a battle to the death. Down they come out of turn 4, and it's a race leader Stevens. Out in front, Maxie Howes is giving chase. He's trying desperately to get up there, but I don't know he's going to get close enough. Down back straight away they go. Race leader Stevens and O'Brien. They seem to have it under control at the moment, but look at Howes right behind on the inside. That's a bit of a look out of turn number 4. Can't quite get the room he needs. Into the corner they go, turn number 1, 2. And Stevens has cooked it. Over sideways he went. He lost ground. Up comes Howes. He's right at the back of him now. Can he make a dive? No. I don't think he can. 1 to go. Last lap. Race leader is Stevens. Howes in second place trying to throw everything at him. He's not getting close. Down back straight they go, now he gets closer. Down they go into the bottom turn, the very last time. Checkered flag waves. They're the race to the finish. Stevens on the outside, just gets the advantage. Oh, what a super heat. Very close, but Stevens on the outside grabs the victory ahead of Maxie Howes in second spot, and third place to Hemsworth and Botham. Oh, what a run. Stevens and O'Brien in the blue. They take the win in the B semi-final, and they go through to the A final. And they will join Treloar, Bond and Hudson in that final. Oh, Darren, what a cracker. Oh, what a super B semi-final that was. Bad luck to the boys. Hayden Bond and Liam Cox. They tried to anticipate the start, but they just couldn't quite get it. And they were excluded, but what a finish from Stevens and O'Brien. Howes and Commons just couldn't quite pick them up. They looked like they had them covered. One last desperate lunge, but just missed out on the line, with Hemsworth and Botham finishing a very credible third place in the B semi-final. So we've still just got the 1 to go now. It's the big one. It's the A final for the 2022 New South Wales Sidecar title, incorporating the Billy Hobbs Cup. And just got to see, can anyone beat Darren Treloar and Blake Cox, who have been far and above the best riders tonight so far. Well, unfortunately, I've just been handed some very disturbing news that the St George Dragons have beaten South Sydney in the Charity Shield, and gee whiz, what is this world coming to? the Dragons. So well done to the Rabbits though. And a massive shout out to my auntie AJ, who's recovering at the moment, who's a massive Rabbitohs supporter. And we send all our love up to her and her recovery. But the bad news is the Rabbitohs have lost the Charity Shield, so maybe next year. Well, they were due to win one. I think they lost the last 58 games, so the law of averages is on their side. But commiserations to all Rabbitohs supporters tuning in out there tonight. And we'll just have to wait and see what the season proper offers. But meanwhile here, we've got a mouth-watering prospect of an A final. We'll get those starters for you, and we'll be back shortly to let you know who they are, the colours. We know who they are, but we'll let you know what positions they're starting from. Okay, man, is that on? Okay, this is it. The fight's right to final. And we've got the riders over now having a look at the start area. And Darren Treloar, Blake Cox will get first choice of gate. Gate number 1, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, it's a little bit of some grooves in there. And be interesting to see just which gate the guys go for. They've finished on a maximum tonight. It's been a super effort from them, but they've got one more job to do, and that's the final to see who will be the New South Wales champion for 2022. And as I mentioned, first pick to Darren Treloar and Blake Cox, and the boys now just seeing which gate will be the best. Darren?
Blue. I'll take blue.
No worries, mate. Darren Treloar out of gate number 2 in the blue. The second pick, Grant. Red. He's taking the red. Grant's and Glenn will be out of gate number 1 in the red. Third pick will go to Hutto. And 3. Yep. Shane Hudson in the 3. Which one was it?
Green.
The green, okay. Stevenson O'Brien will come out of gate number 4 in the yellow. So that's your field of riders. What a great field of sidecars we've got here to take on this final to see who will be the champion for 2022. So we've got Grant Bond and Glenn Cox in the red out of 1. Darren Treloar and Blake Cox in the blue out of gate 2. Shane Hudson and Adam Constable in the white out of gate 3, and the boys from the B final, Stevens and Nick O'Brien, will be in the yellow out of gate number 4. So that's your lineup. This will be an absolute beauty. We've had some really good, clean, close, tight racing here tonight, and that culminates with the final, which is not too far away, to determine who will be the champion for 2022, incorporating the Billy Hobbs Cup. We thank everyone very much for being out with us tonight and supporting Speedway racing here in the Hunter. And we hope that you've enjoyed the fantastic action and the entertainment that these riders and passengers have provided for us tonight. And it's going to be a really tough, tightly contested A final. With the 4 riders left. Keep your eye on this first turn. It's going to be crucial. Let's see who can get into that first turn. If you can get the advantage in, maybe hang on. But it's a really tough job with the field, the quality and the calibre of riders as they start to push their way off. This is the A final of the 2022 New South Wales Sidecar Championship, incorporating the Billy Hobbs Cup. Grant Bond and Glenn Cox in the red, Treloar and Blake Cox in the blue, Hudson and Constable in the white, and Stevens and O'Brien in the yellow. Comes down to 4 laps to see who will be crowned the state champion. Will Darren Treloar grab his 23rd New South Wales title? Or will one of these other riders produce the upset? Grant Bond and Glenn Cox, can they be the ones to do it? Shane Hudson and Adam Constable, they've been on fire tonight. And then Stevens and O'Brien, the boys have done it the tough way, and they've come through the B semi-final. We'll have some medallions to present at the conclusion of this race. So around they come eventually to take their mark. Stevens and O'Brien in the yellow. These the boys have done well tonight. They've had to scrap their way through to this final. There's Treloar and Cox. They'll come out of 2. Can Hudson and Constable get away quickly into that first turn, or will Grant Bond and Glenn Cox be the ones to get that inside running? This is it, the A final. Seconds away from the start. Up go the hands. Let's go racing. On the inside, but Treloar got the best of the start. Hudson tried to go with him on the outside, but Treloar through the middle of the pack was too strong. He's gone to the race lead now. Into turn 3-4. Up on the inside comes Hudson into second place, but he's going to have to really get going to get this bloke out front. Darren Treloar, he's starting to stretch away now. Down back straight away he goes. He might be on his way to another New South Wales title. Into the bottom turn number 4. Comes out now with still a couple left to run. Hudson in second spot. Back to third is Grant Bond. And at the tail of the field is Richard Stevens. But it's all Darren Treloar. This has been an absolute masterclass from the champion. 1 lap to go, and he's only got 1 to negotiate. Hudson in second, Bond in third, Stevens back in 4th. But down back straight away from the last time, and it's been all class from this man. The multiple champ has a look over the shoulder. The New South Wales champ, Darren Treloar. Second spot goes to Hudson. Third place to Grant Bond, and well done to the boys in 4 spots, Stevens and O'Brien. But how about that, ladies and gentlemen? You've witnessed an absolute masterclass by a guy that has been really setting the sidecars alight for many, many years, and the new 2022 New South Wales champion is Darren Treloar and Blake Cox. Now, I didn't miss that. The rider, was that Glenn Cox on the side of the Grant Bond machine. Now something's gone amiss there. The medical team over there checking it out. Let's hope that he's A-OK, but I totally, completely missed that as they came around. But there they are, the champions for 2022, the New South Wales title holders, Darren Treloar and Blake Hollywood Cox. Well done to the boys. Fabulous racing tonight.
What are you doing, Pete and Derek Singer? Well, you done it.